Welcome to Olympian Water Testing, giving you the best in water analysis. Today we are looking at the NIH National Library of Medicine with chronic poisoning by copper in tap water. Copper intoxicants with predominantly gastrointestinal symptoms. So what happens when we get too much copper in our water, elevated water, and we drink it? These can be some of the issues that we'll encounter through this study. So in the abstract, copper can induce acute and chronic intoxications in humans. Copper in tap water has caused a series of severe systematic diseases in Germany in recent years. Copper-induced liver cryosis, and besides cryosis, another type of disease with predominantly gastrointestinal system has occurred, which likely appeared to be induced by copper in tap water. So, taking a look at this, heavy metals are not created the same. While a little bit of copper can be useful for our diet, can help us, elevated levels can cause these issues with liver, gastrointestinal, and other problems. In retrospective investigation, they looked for additional indications and proof that chronic copper poisoning had been the cause of observed gastrointestinal diseases. All patients suffering from this type of disease had copper plumbing in their houses, and the patients, which were both children and adults, suffered from nausea, vomiting, colic, and diarrhea. And in the group of infants, one refused formula milk prepared with tap water, and the others suffered from persistent, relentless, unexplainable screaming, especially at night, and or long-lasting diaper rash. So as we can see, these symptoms can get quite serious, and they can also cause issues in children and adults that are different. So they accept the diagnosis of chronic copper intoxication as the cause of gastrointestinal systems when at least one of the following criteria is fulfilled. First, manifestation, then remission and relapse of the disease, depending on the intake and non-intake water containing copper. So they tried different water sources, some high in copper, some not, and then observe the gastrointestinal problems. Also, a hypercupor state of patients, the pathological high concentrations of non-seroplasm bound copper in serum, and or elevated copper levels in urine, and signs of systematic copper intoxication in the same patient. Signs of systemic copper intoxications or hypercure states in members of a patient's family or in his neighborhood and non-relatives. They also found the disease can also be caused by copper concentrations below the allowed concentrations given by German guidelines for drinking water. And the data proves that copper in drinking water can cause gastrointestinal diseases, and not only the best known systematic copper-induced liver cirrhosis, but copper poisoning must be considered as a possible cause of chronic gastrointestinal diseases in those countries in which copper plumbing is common. So this is something definitely to look out for. But you don't want these symptoms to manifest. You don't want to have gastrointestinal problems, and you definitely don't want to have liver problems or issues like that. So it's always a good idea to periodically test your water for elevated levels of copper.